Okay, so I ran out of room and had to delete a whole bunch of stuff from my iPad. So we'll just see how the rest of this goes. This could be really bad. Anyway, I'd like to make that Christmas ornament for my girlfriend who owns the rug cooking store. We shall see. In the meantime, a few new patterns that I bought this week. Was watching Danielle Stitcherista and saw her Satsuma Street Designs Autumn Bird, I think it is, and thought that was really interesting looking. So got online, ordered a bunch of Satsuma Street patterns, one of which was the 2016 ornament collection. I think there are 6 ornaments, and did the little Santa or elf. I'm not sure what he looks like to me. He sort of looks like an elf, but someone said no, if he were an elf he'd be in green, so I suppose that's right. This little guy, I mean, he's like 2 inches high, maybe 2.5 inches high. He had 9 colors in him, 6 different reds. I made so many mistakes doing this pattern. I don't even know what went wrong. I was trying to do my own color conversion, and anyway, I'm very pleased with how it turned out, except for there are a million mistakes, and every time I look at it, I see all the mistakes, but it'll just have to do. It'll be an ornament for somebody, not sure who. I'm also working on Nell at Little Yellow House. Talked about the Mill Hill Santas and the 3 different Santas every year in the different collections. I was fascinated by that. Went to Mill Hill, actually went to 123 Stitch, pulled up Mill Hill designs and ordered 3 Santas. I was born and raised in Colorado. All of my children were born in Colorado, so the Rocky Mountain Santas, had to do those. And I'm working on this one. He is Teton, Grand Teton Santa. There with the mountain goat. I feel like that's not what those animals are called. I grew up seeing them. Anyway, very, very sweet. So I have started on him here. And this is my car project. This is what I work on in the car when someone else is driving, and that's kind of nice. And I love that. I bought 2 others. I would love to get those all done for this Christmas, but that's just insane. So my son is a major, I'm making rugs for both of my girls for Christmas. And at the end of this video, I will insert some pictures of a couple rugs that I've made. I cannot tell you about the one I'm making for my oldest daughter. I think she watches these. So I can't tell you about that, but she does know I'm making her a rug for Christmas. But then I did make a rug for Maddie, my youngest, for Christmas. And she has one of her animals is a black cat, an all black cat. And so I have a sleeping kitty on a braided rug that I made. And I will insert a picture of that here at the end of the video. So I knew I had to make something for Ryan too. And so he loves Harry Potter. Harry Potter has been his greatest joy growing up, I think. And when I saw the Clouds Factory Harry Potter giant version, which looks like this, I think everybody knows what that looks like. I showed it to him and said, "Hey, do you like this kind of thing with the little?" Well, I didn't know. I thought they were Lego people, but Ryan informs me they're Pixel people. And he said, "Oh, Mom, I love that. That is the coolest thing. I would love for you to make me something like that someday." So, of course, I started on Giant Harry Potter. And the fabric I'm using is so cool. It was the first thing I'd ever ordered from Hand Dyed by Stephanie. And this is 28 count Laguna tactical camo. And I thought this would be so perfect. It's sort of hard to order fabric online, but I saw that you all were doing it and thought I might as well give it a whirl. And so this is the fabric. Oh my gosh, of course this is such big giant fabric, and I have a horrible, there we go, that's a kind of a good interesting little splotchy area. I love the splotchy modelly hand-dyed fabric. That's how a lot of the wool is that I buy for my rugs. So I fell in love with this. Anyway, I thought this would be so great for a boy and for Harry Potter. And so that's what I'm doing giant Harry Potter on. This will not be done for Christmas. So what I'll do is get some amount of it done and then go ahead and wrap it for him. He's graduating in May and going off to college next year. So my goal will be to get it to finish before he goes off to college so he can take it with him. But that's not a whole lot of progress, but that's where. But I'm enjoying this. It's fun. I think those little pixel people go pretty quickly. So once I did kind of start Harry there a little bit. Once I get going on those and finish the banner and the border, I think that'll go a lot faster than I think. The other big project that I'm working on today, or not today, but that I'm is a whip, and it's got another long-term whip, and I haven't seen anyone else on Floss Tube working on it, although I'm sure there are other people. But it's his eye is on the Sparrow Heartstring Sampler, and it looks like this. It is I can't remember what the stitch count is on it, but it's basically 2 feet by 2 feet. Something in that range, and I thought this would be really neat. I saw this on a needle punch blogger who I follow is working on this and months ago and loved it and ordered it. And Beth Twist is the designer, I believe, and she did this to commemorate her 100th pattern, her 100th cross stitch pattern. So this was something I started working on before I got to find out about Floss Tube, and I worked on it quite a bit just right before I found out about Floss Tube, and had some progress for sure. But this will just be for me, and it'll be a long term. I don't care if this takes me 5 years to finish. I do love it. I think it's beautiful, and again, it's something with a bunch of little motifs, and you get a motif done, and you kind of feel like that's a little mini finish, and that's kind of nice. The other two things I wanted to talk about, and I'll insert pictures of both of those as well at the end of the video, or maybe here if I can figure out how to do that, is I bought 2 frames this week, and I took a class at the Needlepoint store this week. I do needlepoint. I do love it. I don't do nearly as much needlepoint as cross stitch, but I do have several projects in the works. And there was kind of an advanced class this week to learn how to do lots of different kinds of stitches. And I took that class, and while I was in the class, a lady had this awesome frame that she was using, or system, needlepoint system that she was using. And I asked her about it, and she said, oh, they sell them here. And so they did have one, and I thought the price was very reasonable, and I purchased it, and I thought, well, I can make this work for cross stitch. And they said, oh no, you wouldn't be able to do this with cross stitch. Well, I don't think those ladies know about cross stitch, because it works great with cross stitch, and I've been using it all week. And so I have a picture of that. And then before that, I was watching Vana Twisted Stitcher over the weekend, and she talked about a Ocean Woodworks website on Etsy, shop on Etsy, and the frame that they sell, and I got online, and it was also very reasonable, and it's more of a floor stand. I ordered the lap stand, or I bought the lap stand of the Needlework 4 system, but this is a floor stand, and it was also very reasonable, I thought, and so I ordered that, and it came today, and I've already put it together. Again, ordered it over the weekend, and it was delivered today. I think that's phenomenal. That customer service is just awesome. So Ocean Woodworks, and it's lovely. Great instructions on how to put it together. I'll insert a picture, but I speak very highly of this company. And if anyone is interested, the gentleman's name is Mike Rowland. And if you go on to Etsy and go to oceanwoodworks.etsy.com, well, Ocean Woodworks at Etsy, all one word. It took me a little while to find it. You can find it, and super reasonable for what it is, I thought. very lightweight, very lovely. I'm sure it's handmade. Um, Great customer service. Sent me a little note, told me it would be shipped out on Monday, and it came today. And I just think that's phenomenal. So highly recommend them if anyone is looking for, and I will insert a picture of that. So with that, I'm going to head off to state volleyball. Wishing you all just a lovely weekend. Thank you again. This chokes me up. But thank you again for your lovely comments and kind suggestions and just your support and everything for my first Floss tube. And I wish you all just a lovely, happy, stitchy day and weekend, and hopefully talk soon.